Why, hello. In yesterday's read aloud, we found out that Ruku died. It's a brutal chapter, brutal day for the book. Um, and we found out that she had dengue fever, but she had also developed pneumonia. And from the complications, she passed away. So Viji, Arul, and Mutu are all living at the house with Selena Auntie. It's like a house for kids. And Viji's really struggling. She doesn't really talk much. She does her chores and stuff like that, but she doesn't go to the grave. She Selena Auntie's trying to get her to write, but she just can't. And she just seems generally very depressed. Okay. Chapter 38. Good is God. During the day, students of all ages sit together in the biggest room in the house, learning, reading, writing, mathematics, history, geography, science. The teachers give us different things to do, and we work at our own pace. Arul does not join us because he has no interest in schoolwork. Instead, he takes a bus every morning to work with the carpenter. Selena Auntie says this is an important path too, getting special skills to become carpenters, tailors, gardeners, or to learn some other trade. She says she wishes she had more space so she could take in every homeless kid, but she can't. She doesn't have enough space for all of us who live here to live here forever. So those who are older, like me and especially Arul, who's even a bit older, are allowed to stay for a bit until we have a safe, sure place to move to. Before our lessons each morning, we gather in the hall to pray. Most of the children here are Christian, like Selena Auntie, but some are Hindu and two are Muslims. The prayer assembly is unending. Selena Auntie starts off with the rule's favorite prayer to our Father, and then there are prayers to Mary and Allah, and some Hindu chants that Amma used to say. When I hear those, I miss Amma. It amazes me that there are so many words to pray with, and so many people praying, but there is still so much misery and cruelty in the world. This morning during the prayer assembly, I yawned, and Mutu caught my eye and started yawning too. Soon I had set the whole place yawning. Priya Auntie, one of our other teachers, told me off. You're the oldest girl here, she said. If you don't start showing respect, all the little ones are going to behave badly. I don't behave badly. Oh, do not talk back. Her face flushed redder than a brick, lips quivering with rage. She hauled me off to Selena Auntie's office and ranted. Selena Auntie listened and didn't let me say a word until after Priya Auntie stormed off into the classroom. Viji, I can imagine you feel guilty about your sister's death, but you need to stop accusing yourself. You made the choices that seemed best. You did all you could. Those were not the words I had expected to hear from her. I was in trouble for yawning. Religion can be a solace, Viji. If you have faith in a higher power, if you trust that each life has a purpose whether we see it or not, if you could only believe your sister has a soul that's still alive. You want to convert me? You can't, I told her. Ask Arul. He's been trying to ever since we met. I'm not trying and never will try to convert you, Viji. It's just that when we suffer a loss like you have, we lose a sense of purpose. I lost hope when I lost my husband, and I found it again in God, but it's not the only way. Maybe your way is to search inside yourself and rediscover purpose. My life felt pointless now that you were gone. She was right about that, but I didn't say so. You also need to respect Priya Auntie's position, she said quietly. We can't have children here being disrespectful to any religion. I'm not mean about any one religion, I said. They're all equally silly. And a amused smile flickered across her face. Well, we can't have you being disrespectful to all religions either. What about respecting my non-religion? I thought. As though I'd spoken those words, Selina Auntie said, I think you understand. I think I understand you, Vici. She wrote 2 words on a piece of paper and turned it toward me so I could read them. Good and God. Those 2 words, God and good, are only 1 letter apart in the English language, she said. So maybe when we pray in the morning, if you don't want to think of God, you might try thinking about being good, about doing good. Yes? Okay, I said. I don't mind if you have no faith in religion, Vici. Just as long as you have faith in the goodness within yourself. I'm feeling like Selina Auntie is proving over and over again that she is a very good person and caring. Chapter 39. Losing and Finding. Selina Auntie assigned me and Rule the job of doing the dishes together. For months we didn't talk much as we worked side by side in the kitchen. But one evening, Arul finally broke the silence. He asked how I was doing, and when, as usual, I just said, fine, he wouldn't let me get away with it. No, he said, you are not fine, Vici. I said nothing. Talk to me, he said. Let me help. I don't need your help, I growled. Arul sighed. Sulking and being rude to people who care about you isn't going to make life any easier. Since when, I said, has life been easy? Since now. Arul let a dish clatter into the sink. Some things are easier here than on the bridge. In spite of all that's happened, and you have to stop feeling sorry for yourself. I don't just sulk. I shocked myself by shouting for the first time since your passing. I do every chore I'm given. I clean. I sit in the classroom. I eat. I sleep. You don't look like you've been sleeping much. That's because Ruku is gone, Arul. She's gone because of me. If I hadn't forced her to leave home, if she hadn't come here with you, she'd never have enjoyed the good times we had. And we had so many good times, Vici. I should have never run away. What choice did you have? I've heard of parents who beat their kids to death. Who knows what your father might have done? You tried your best. It's my fault Ruku died. Is it your fault you couldn't see into the future? Arul said. If you are to blame, we are too. If I had believed you when you were scared the Waste-Mart man would come after us, we might never have been forced to live in that mosquito-infested graveyard. If Mutu hadn't scared you off from Selina Auntie, you might have come here sooner. He couldn't comfort me. I banged the pan against the sink. I want her back! Stop it! Arul yanked the pan out of my hands. I miss her too, and so does Mutu. She was not your sister. She was mine. Mine. Now I have no one. You're no more alone than Mutu and I are, Arul yelled. If you choose to drown in loneliness, go ahead. But don't claim she wasn't our sister. We are not just friends, we are family. The loudness of his tone shocked me. Maybe you should start looking at what you haven't lost, Arul said. Start giving thanks for what you do have. Thanks? An odd snort left my lips. That's all you ever do. If someone came to stab you, you'd probably thank them too, wouldn't you? But there's nothing to be thankful about. Yes, there is, he said, taking my soapy hands in his. You're here in this home with the chance to do something more with your life. You have Selina Auntie, you have me, you have Mutu. Most of all, you have yourself. Myself? Yes. And now that you have been angry and raised your voice again, you'll feel a lot better. Just wait and see. He was right. When I left the kitchen that night, I found I actually wanted to write to you for the first time. Easter came, and I finally agreed to visit your grave with Arul and Mutu. On your stone, instead of flowers, I laid down one of the chocolate Easter eggs Selina Auntie had given us. She would have loved that, Mutu said. Sweet, gooey, wrapped in green foil, her favorite color. I'm sure she would have loved the flowers you always leave for her too, I said. As we left the cemetery where you had been buried, Arul said Easter was about new beginnings. But some things will never change, Ruku. You will never be back. Okay, so for your response today, I find chapter 39 personally to be one of the most powerful chapters in this book. Both times I've read it now, or well, 3 times, I guess, I get very emotional when I read it. More emotional than when Ruku actually dies, because there's something about Viji trying to deal with the death and Arul trying to help her that I find very real. I can picture it. It's so realistic, so it really makes me emotional. So I wanted you to write a response about that today. This says, Arul and Viji had a very long conversation about Ruku's death. Arul said that Viji should start being thankful for what she did have. But Viji said that Ruku was gone and that it was her fault, so she had nothing to be thankful for. Who do you agree with? And how did chapter 39 make you feel? So it's a question today, so you're going to write your answer in. Okay, I cannot wait to read your responses. Thank you.